Good afternoon, Dr. Cronan. Today we are going to show you our current program. This is the Graduate School of Business Maintenance Program, version 2.0. As you can see, we have a nice standard login screen where we're going to log in as B. Pummill, and the password currently is just set to password. Now these are established in the database and they can be set to just about anything. Our main menu has been updated and now features multiple different buttons that will take you to, as you can see, the Applicant Entry and Reporting section, the Student Progress Report section, the Class Maintenance section, the Class Report section, Alumni, and Advising. First, I will walk us through the Applicant Entry and Reporting section. When you click the button, it brings up an Applicant's Options screen. On this, you can either choose Applicants or Applicant Reporting. If we select Applicants, it brings us to our student application and applicant entry form. Under this, we can select current students and bring up their information. We can update information about them, save the updates, or add new records. And one change from the previous is a desired program section. So we can select that and update it about the students so that we can keep better track of what they're doing. Now we're going to cancel out of this entry field because you're familiar with it. We're going to go to the Applicant Reporting section. Now this is a basic applicant reporting section that works quite well. We can select what program that the students are a part of, such as the Executive MBA, and it'll pull up what their information is. If we look at the all majors right now, we can see that there's Quincy and Devyn, myself, you, Dr. Cronan, someone named John Jones, and Billy Sunday. Now each student is sorted by the most relevant information that we thought would be helpful for choosing which students would actually make it into the programs. So they can then be sorted by, say, test score. And then we can print. And when we print, it's going to pull up a print preview, and we can see exactly what kind of report will be printed. Next, Devyn will take us through the Student Progress Report.
Okay, now I'm going to discuss the Student Progress Report. You're going to just go back to the main menu and click on Student Progress Report. Here we can see all the students and the classes that they've taken. These are the classes they've enrolled in which they don't have a grade, and classes that they've already taken in which they do have a grade. So, for example, we go down to Ben. He's already taken these two classes. He got an A in this one, a B in that one. Then we can go down to Paul Cronan. Paul Cronan, let's say he's in accounting right now, and we want to update his class grade because the semester is finished. So Paul, again, has been showing up very late to class. We see that he got some A's here, but he hasn't been doing very good this semester. So we're going to type in the class, 5233, and we are going to give him a D, because that is what he got. And then we're going to hit the Update button. You can see, again, for all the students, he's not in any classes currently, but like Devyn, she has her grades here. These are the classes she's currently in that don't have grades. When we go back to Paul Cronan, all his courses are now completed, all his grades have been entered, and he has a D for accounting. We'll hit the Cancel button, which will take us back to the main menu, and then I'm going to discuss the class report. When you click on Class Report, this is a way that you can see all the students that are enrolled in that class. These are the students that don't have grades, so that they're still in the classes. This semester's not done. They're in the class right now. So we're going to look up the course ISIS 511V and do a search. After we hit the search button, you can see that Quincy and Devyn are both enrolled in this class currently and do not have grades. If we look down at the bottom, you can see that it counts how many students are in the class, so a total of 2 students. We also created a print screen so that teachers could easily print this off and use it for attendance. I mean, how perfect. They can literally go through and check it off on a piece of paper every morning. It's also good for counselors that are trying to figure out if there's too many students enrolled in a class at a certain time. They can easily log on to Class Report, type in the number, and see how many students are in that class.
I'm going to show you the advising function of our program. And in the advising, you can choose between the different departments or programs on which you want to advise in. I'm going to choose the Masters of Information Systems, and after I select that, as you can see, it looks very similar to what we had last time. You can choose the concentration of the current student, and after you choose that current student, you can see their grades that they have in each class that they've already taken, the classes that they haven't taken, as well as the classes that they're enrolled in. With each of these, you can easily add classes or remove classes from both the required concentrations. You can also type in a class. Let's just, for example, ISIS 5943. Select Add, and it'll add that class to the enrolled section. From there, you can also print and print out a document with the classes listed in the enrolled section. What's new to this advising program is you can switch between each of the programs offered. So let's go full-time masters, and you can see here we can change concentrations for the student and just like before, add and remove classes. You can also switch between each and every section. In each section we'll have a different requirement system, but it's all basically the same thing. Next, I'll show you the class maintenance function. In the class maintenance function, it defaults to our track table. Now, this part of the program deals directly with the SQL Server, and you can add and remove classes. First off, you notice the instructions. These instructions are how to update a class or delete a class. First, we're on the track table, and this track table shows class name, program ID, if it's core or not, the concentration ID, and it gives a primary key just for database purposes. Now let's say we have our accounting 5413 and we want to remove that. Well, first we have to remove it here from the track table and then submit our changes. Once we did that, we now go to the class table, and on the class table we can see the accounting program of 5413, the advanced final accounting, and we can remove it. Well, let's say all I wanted to do was change the concentration ID. All I would have to do then is go back to track, type back in the class name, type in the program ID. So now instead of being in the accounting, I'm going to change it to the MIS program. And yes, I'm going to make this a core class, and I'm not going to have a concentration ID. So it's just going to be one of those required classes. The primary key is kind of ambiguous, and it'll load as soon as you submit the changes. So once you refresh, we can see at the bottom here, the accounting 5413 MIS is back into the system with a new primary key.
Alright, next we're going to walk you through our new Alumni section. Within this, you can see that there's a simple data review, a preview button, and a select a file. Now right now, if you preview, you'll see that there's nothing in the database. So, first what we need to do is go into LinkedIn. Now I have it pulled up to my LinkedIn at the moment, and I'm going to export my connections. Now what this will do is export a CSV file. With this CSV file, we're going to be able, once I type in this, to Notepad a CSV file. We'll save it. and then we'll go to select a file, and it'll be in our downloads right here, LinkedIn Connections Export. We can open that. Now what that does is it pulls it into an open file dialog. Now when we submit, what it does is pull from that file and submit those entries into our database. So now if we preview, this is currently what's in our database. It's going to be all of these individuals with their email addresses and the companies they work for and their job titles. And so we'll be able to sort through these and find individuals who maybe someone wants to apply for a job at Arvest. Well, here's someone, Rose Satterwhite, that works for Arvest. So maybe we can create a connection for a current student. And this has been a presentation of Team Magenta, which features Devyn Grathwohl, Quincy Grigson, and myself, Ben Pummill. Thank you for your time, and we appreciate having you as a professor this year.